Okay, just like I promised, I'm here to read a book. Listen, make sure you all subscribe to my YouTube channel because I'm putting all of this on YouTube. And let the kids know because this is all about them right now. This is for them. Making sure we have a little bit of normalcy in our lives. They can see my face. I love to see if they comment on anything. Parents, they're not my friends on Facebook, so you got to make sure you comment for them. I was also thinking about having a Facebook page just for the kids. Something that they can, we can be friends on. That's coming, maybe. Okay, so today my story is one of my favorite stories, The True Story of the Three Little Pigs by A. Wolf. Get it? A. Wolf? Because that's who's telling this story. All right, here we go. I'm trying to turn pages a little bit so you can see. Everyone knows the story of the Three Little Pigs, or at least they think they do. But I'll let you in on a little secret. Nobody knows the real story because nobody has ever heard my side of the story. I'm the wolf, Alexander T. Wolf. You can call me Al. I don't know how this whole big bad wolf thing got started, but it's all wrong. Maybe it's because of our diet. Hey, it's not my fault wolves eat cute little animals like bunnies and sheep and pigs. That's just the way we are. If cheeseburgers were cute, folks would probably think you were big and bad too. I don't know. But like I was saying, the whole big bad wolf thing is all wrong. The real story is about a sneeze and a cup of sugar. This is the real story. Way back and once upon a time, I was making a birthday cake for my dear old granny. I had a horrible, terrible sneezing cold, and I ran out of sugar. So I walked down the street to ask my neighbor for a cup of sugar. Now, this neighbor was a pig, and he wasn't too bright either. He had built his whole house out of straw. Can you believe it? I mean, who in their right mind would build a house out of straw? See him walking down the block? Here's the house, built out of straw. I don't know what that pig was thinking, but let's find out what happens. So, of course, the minute I knocked on the door, it fell right in. I didn't want to just go in and walk into someone else's house. So I called, little pig, are you in? No answer. I was just about to go home without the cup of sugar for my dear old granny's birthday cake. That's when my nose started to itch. I felt a sneeze coming on. Well, I huffed and I snuffed. And I sneezed a great sneeze. Achoo! He probably should have covered his mouth. And you know what? The whole darn straw house fell down, and right in the middle of the pile of straw was the first little pig, dead as a doornail. He had been home the whole time. It seemed like a shame to leave a perfectly good ham dinner lying around in the straw, so I ate it up. Think of it as a big cheeseburger just laying there. See the little pig, the little ham dinner? Poor old pig. What can we say? I was feeling a little better, but I still didn't have my cup of sugar. So I went to the next neighbor's house. The neighbor was the first little pig's brother. He was a little smarter, but not much. He had built his house out of sticks. I rang the doorbell on the stick house, and nobody answered. I called, "Mr. Pig, Mr. Pig, are you in?" He yelled back, "Go away, Wolf. You can't come in. I'm shaving the hairs on my chinny chin chin." See, his house is straw, or house of sticks. A little bit smarter, right? And he's in there shaving his little chinny chin chin. I just had grabbed the doorknob when I felt another sneeze coming on. I huffed and I snuffed and I tried to cover my mouth, but I sneezed a great sneeze. Achoo! And you're not going to believe it, but this guy's house fell down just like his brother's. When the dust cleared, there was a second little pig, dead as a doornail. Wolf's honor! Here's the second little pig. Him huffing and snuffing and sneezing his great sneeze. Oh, boy. Now, you know food will spoil if you just leave it out in the open. So I did the only thing there was to do. I had dinner again. Think of it as a second helping. I was getting awfully full, but my cold was feeling a lot better. And still, I didn't have the cup of sugar for my dear old granny's birthday cake. So I went to the next house. This guy was the first and second little pig's brother. He must have been the brains of the family. He built his house of bricks. I knocked on the brick house. No answer. I called, "Mr. Pig, are you in?" And do you know what that rude little porker answered? "Get out of here, Wolf. Don't you bother me again." Look how fat the wolf is getting. He's getting to be a big belly. He called him a rude little porker. Talk about impolite. He probably had a whole sack of sugar, and he wouldn't even give me one little cup for my dear sweet granny's birthday cake. What a pig. I was just about to go home and maybe make a nice birthday card instead of a cake when I felt my cold coming on. I huffed and I snuffed and I sneezed once again. Achoo! Then the third little pig yelled, "And your old granny can sit on a pin." Uh-oh. Now, you know how it is when we start talking about families. That is not the right thing to do. That wolf made a big mistake. I hope the pig doesn't react horribly. I'm sorry, I hope the wolf doesn't act horribly because the pig made a big mistake. Now, I'm usually a pretty calm fellow, but when somebody talks about my granny like that, I go a little crazy. Man, I knew this was going to happen. When the cops drove up, of course, I was trying to break down the pig's door, and the whole time I was huffing and puffing and sneezing and making a real scene. You know how that ended. He was huffing and puffing and trying to blow the house down. Remember that in the old story? This is what he looked like. He was making a real scene out there. Then we got the police pig over here. I don't know. It's not looking good for Mr. Wolf. And the rest, as they say, is history. The news reporters found out about the two pigs I had for dinner. They figured a sick guy going to borrow a cup of sugar didn't sound very exciting. So they jazzed the story up with all that huff and puff and blow your house down. And they made me the big bad wolf. That's it. The real story. I was framed. I don't know. What do you think? What do you think? Was he framed? Is he telling the truth, or were the pigs telling the truth? But maybe you could loan me a cup of sugar. Still trying to get that cup of sugar for his dear old granny's birthday. Oh, well, Mr. Wolf, I guess it's as you said, history. Because you became the big bad wolf. Now, you all tell me if you think the wolf was telling the truth, or if the three little pigs were telling the truth about him huffing and puffing and blowing the house down. Now, they said the news reporters kind of made it up. That's what the wolf said. But I don't know. I kind of believe his story a little bit. And as I tell most of you all, it's your story. Stick to it and say it. You let me know what you think. I'm going to be reading every night to you all. Now, I have to go and get some books because I don't have really many kid books because my baby is 19. But I've got some more books coming up for you all. I have a few others on my lineup for this week. Some of my favorites. Some of the favorites that when I used to read to my kids. Parents, I'm just asking, follow our YouTube page or follow my YouTube page, Principal Pamela Parks, so that your kids can get a story every night or every morning, or when you don't feel like reading, just plug it in. I'm going to put stories on here every day. I'm also going to be doing some exercises, not a whole lot, but some things that the kids could do inside of the house without getting in too much trouble. We'll have some guest readers and some guest visitors from time to time. So I hope you all enjoyed the story. We're going to do one more thing because at Lincoln School, we do some things called mindfulness. And so I would just want you to get ready for bed. So I want everybody to sit with their legs crossed. And we're going to just do some breathing. And so if you have smaller kids, you can kind of pretend that there's a flower. And you can breathe the flower in through your nose and blow it out through your mouth. And we're going to do this a few times just to calm down and get ourselves ready for bed. And adults, this is for you too, because sometimes we need to relax ourselves. Or you could pretend you have a cup of hot chocolate and you can smell it, hot chocolate, and blow it. Or if you just want to sit and get in tune with your bodies, just sit quietly, taking some deep breaths in through your nose and out slowly through your mouth. And we'll do this a couple times. In through your nose and out through your mouth. You should start to feel your body relaxing. In through your nose and out through your mouth. This is a good way when the kids have had too much excitement for the day to kind of bring them back and center them a little bit. Again, adults, this is good for you. We do this at school. The kids can tell you about it inside their classrooms, what they do. I know some of the teachers play a little bit of soft music. We do this breathing technique every Monday before we're lining up after our morning meetings. Again, it's for adults and kids. Just some time to kind of relax. You can meditate a little bit, just listening to your heartbeat or focusing on a sound. Like I hear some cars going up my street, just kind of focusing on something. Close your eyes and just relax a little bit. Remember to take care of yourselves. Do some things for just you. Adults, do some things for just you. Keep the kids on a regimen at bedtime. We never know when school's going to be back in session, and we don't want to be surprised if we're going back and the kids have been off of their sleep schedules. So keep some regimented bedtimes. Make them get up, do some household chores. Everyone should have received their packets today. If you didn't receive it today, you'll receive it by tomorrow that we sent out from the school. You can go on to your Clever account. You could go on to Edmentum, iLet, iRead, all of those things that we do at school all the time. If you have access to a computer, you can go on to those things. Again, I'm going to be looking out for you all. I'll be posting more videos and more story times for you all to use. And we're not going to just do this while we're home for COVID-19. I'm going to continue this. So we'll have something to look forward to for a long time to come. Any child can follow my page. Any adult can follow my page. It's not just for my Lincoln students. It's for anybody. So follow me. Find my YouTube. Subscribe on my YouTube channel. Principal Pamela Parks. All right. I love you guys. Be safe. Have a good night. Get some rest.